What's going on, YouTube world? Bam, ba, bam, 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 ba, bam, bam. Welcome to welcome to LilBigMan Gaming, bringing you a review for Monday Night Raw. Man, this Monday Night Raw, I would say this Monday Night Raw was way better than the past. I said this Monday Night Raw was better than last week's Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. They started off with the Kevin Owens promo, which was I give it to them. That was a good promo. Did I know Stone Cold was going to be there? Yes, but it still was a good promo. Even if you knew he wasn't going to show up, it still was a good promo. He came out dressed like Stone Cold's music came on, right? And it was like this pause. It was like where he at, he usually come out just a little bit after his music hit. And it was like he wasn't out. It was like a good maybe 2 or 3 minutes when he did come out. Then he comes out, but it's Kevin Owens with one of those fake ball caps on and stuff. And he basically trying to talk and recite Stone Cold's famous lines and stuff or whatnot. And it's pretty much like the opening promo is pretty much like a whole mockery to Stone Cold and his character and everything. And he even tried to do like the little like the Stone Cold signature when he leave, he be catching beers and stuff. I think this dude like threw 2 of them when he couldn't catch it, so he got mad and I'd be ready to have him come in the ring and hand him the beer, but then he got mad and stunned him and did the signature Stone Cold, after the stunner. So I was like, that was cool. That was cool. The first match of the night was Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio versus Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, and that it was just almost forgot that Dolph Ziggler is your current NXT champion. If it wasn't for the fact that I was playing WWE 2K22, and when I play that type of game, I always keep my roster up to date on who's the current champion, as close to the actual product as possible. So thankfully, Dolph Ziggler is the champion because I can make him the current NXT champion in the game. So I almost forgot that until I remember. Oh yeah, I just was doing that earlier. So, but yeah, this was a good match. It was a good match overall. I'm glad I'm glad the Miz is kind of sort of involved, but at the same time, I was like, this is like a little not rehash. I would say this is a little revival of their rivalry that you saw in the WWE 2K. So that's why I bring it up, because this is kind of like a revisit to that old rivalry they had back then. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the Miz and when on Raw, it was ironically on Raw, it was a tournament to determine the WWE champion at the time that the WWE title was vacant. This is back when the spinning with John Cena spinning WWE championship was still the active championship, and that would be the last time Rey Mysterio has won actual main title gold too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he has held a main title since then. But he would beat the Miz to become the WWE champion, then John Cena would beat him in the same night. But this is like a revisit to that. So yeah, this was a good match. I know I just went off track, but yeah, this was a good match. Next up, we got Omos in a triple. I was about to say triple threat in the 2-on-1 handicap match, and it was against Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz. Now you would think them two would make at least somewhat formidable duo against him. No, they have Omos squash both of them, and Omos basically is begging for a challenge either at whether it's Raw or WrestleMania. But yeah, Omos won this match. Seth Rollins we had a backstage interview. I mentioned this because this will coincide with what happened next, which was AJ Styles promo. Basically in the Seth Rollins interview backstage, he was interviewed about what he would do, what he's gonna do since it looked like he basically don't have a path or won't be at WrestleMania. And then he just laughed like the Joker, took the microphone and said, "I'm gonna need this." So basically, it goes into AJ Styles promo. AJ Styles just ripped Edge about his new gimmick, his new mood lighting, and who he said how he's been at home just replaying that he didn't want to talk to his wife or kids. He just wanted to be by himself to replay those events over and over in his head until he almost went insane. But that at WrestleMania, he's going to tear Edge apart. But he wanted Edge to come out, right? He said, "Why wait till WrestleMania where you can come out right now so I can get my hands on you?" But then this will come out AJ Styles. AJ Styles will basically come out and say that, AJ Styles, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins will come out and basically be like literally a repeat from last week, which is basically, oh yeah, how about I face Edge at WrestleMania? And this and that and that. He said, he was like, I see what you try to do. You try to do me like you did Kevin Owens last week. But no, how about I face Edge, destroy him at WrestleMania, then we could get back to me and you. But then, just like last week, this time instead of Sonya Deville, it was Adam Pearce, and he basically made the main event for a reason I don't know why. The main event is just a rehash of last week's main event, except it's going to be Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. Winner faces Edge at WrestleMania. It's like, okay, so that's a little disappointing that you basically rehashed the same thing just with a different person. But basically that's what came out of that promo. We'll get the next match we will get was Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan versus Natalya and Shayna Blazer. Basically after they attacked from for SmackDown and getting added to the SmackDown. I said SmackDown to the Women's Tag Team Championship match at WrestleMania, making it a Fatal 4-Way. Shayna Blazer and Rhea Ripley and them will square out, and this match will be good. It was actually quite entertaining. I'm not gonna lie, except for the distractions and whatnot. But yeah, Nat and Shayna Blazer will get a victory here. This will bring out. I forgot to mention earlier too, before, like a little bit before this match, there was a backstage brawl between Zelina and Carmella. This will play into this match because Carmella will come out and talk to Corey about what happened. Zelina will come out and instead of what you think they still would be fighting with each other, she just came out and started clearing out house, and then Carmella would join her. They would get back to the ring like they was about to bicker and fight with each other again, and then they kiss and make up. I mention this because that was another little disappointment. So you had them fight back and brawl backstage, only for them to kiss and make up like they almost was like it was just a fake out. I don't understand what you was doing, so it kind of made me not want it. Them being the little dissension, the little animosity between them was what was making me get a little bit interested in it, but now I'm just like, no. So, moving on. Then we got a Becky Lynch promo. Becky Lynch basically came up with some philosophical questions about basically selling your soul and what would you do. What is it to a man to have the world if he sell his soul or something like that? And basically she was saying that she made the decision to sell her soul by basically meaning doing whatever she necessarily possibly can to keep the title, because she said when the crowd chose Bianca over her at SummerSlam. Now, granted, I know this is just a story, but we didn't really choose you over Bianca Belair. We chose Bianca Belair because you really didn't need that spot, and you didn't really need to win the title. So we wasn't booing you, we was booing the booking. But hey, still made for a great story. And basically, she says she reminded everybody that she was coming out here to get Bianca's hair, but due to what she did to Bianca last week, Bianca wasn't there. But she promised to beat her and humiliate her at WrestleMania. Moving on to the next match, we got Austin Theory versus Finn Balor. Now, Austin Theory cut a promo in backstage about why he's going to beat Pat McAfee and made a suggestion about Pat McAfee's commentary, job being in jeopardy. But then he will come out to the ring, basically get ready to square up for Finn Balor. But then we got interrupted, letting us know that we was going to have a special guest commentator, which was none other than Pat McAfee himself. And Pat McAfee was basically out there to distract Austin Theory, which would bite Austin Theory because too many distractions, and Finn Balor is your victor. We would get the next match, which is RK Bro versus Alpha Academy. This was a good match. This was a good match overall. They work, like I said, Alpha Academy knows how to put on. I said this many times every time I talk about their matches. Alpha Academy knows how to work good with pretty much anybody because they always, especially Chad Gable, putting on some spectacular moves. This match was a good match. RK Bro would get the victory, but the Street Profits will basically come and clear house and basically beat up everybody to stand tall at the end. So we're moving on to the next match, which is significance because this is the first time in a long time for both Raw and SmackDown that we had a match that was actually called a Tornado Tag Team match. Now, granted, it was called a Tornado Mixed Tag Team match, but still, when was the last time on either SmackDown or Raw did we get a match that said that a tag team match that actually said the words Tornado Tag in it? So I was like, okay, I'm invested in this. I'm going somewhere with this. I'm invested in this. I want to see this because this is the first time in a long time I've seen a tag team match that said Tornado Tag. Okay, and then they immediately just do some goofy stuff. They piggyback Dana Brooke. Akira tried to piggyback Tamina, but then couldn't get Tamina up, so she piggybacked him. And the piggybackers try to fight each other. I'm just like, okay, goofy stuff. And then it wasn't a match at all because pretty much afterwards, they would I think Tamina kicked Reggie, Dana kicked Tamina. They would get sent to each other. Tamina would actually do a goofy, we got crushed together. I'm gonna fall, headbutt your private area, and then they end up getting the victory. So it was it was a mockery of the Tornado Tag match, but it made me disappointed. I was like, you had me with the fact that it said Tornado Tag, then you lost me with the goofy ass match. So I'm just like, ugh. Anywho, we will move on. After that, Dana Brooke and Reggie is your victor. And then we will move on to which is the main event of the night, which was, like I said, just a rehash of last week, which is this time is AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins. Winner faces Edge at WrestleMania. This match was a lengthy match. It was a good match because it had 2 ad breaks. So this was a good match. It went on for a good period of time. I would like to say that the last 15 to 20 minutes of this show was this match, and they even had enough time to recap some stuff. But the end result of this match will come when AJ Styles looked like he was getting ready to go for a phenomenal forearm on Seth Rollins, and he would get hit in the back by Edge with a chair, giving AJ Styles the win via DQ, which means that AJ Styles will indeed be at WrestleMania to face Edge, but which means Seth Rollins once again would not have a path to WrestleMania. Though, I forgot to mention that earlier in that promo with AJ Styles, people were chanting Cody Rhodes' name, and he did address that, saying rumors are good and all, but they don't mean nothing in the moment. And he said he wanted to be in the moment of going to WrestleMania. But overall, this was a good episode of Monday Night Raw. It was very entertaining for the most part, save for the fact that we got a match with the Friday Said Tornado Tag in it, and they screwed it up. I think I didn't really care for the once again. I don't know what they doing with Omos, but I think the only two things that was a down was the Omos and the mixed tornado tag team match. Everything else was fine though. Everything else in the show was fine, which means this episode of Monday Night Raw gets a. You know what? I'm feeling generous today. They get an 8 out of 10 big ups just because, for the most part, it was entertaining. The show was entertaining enough to make me really forget those two down spots. But hey, that's just me. But what do you think about Monday Night Raw? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this review video, hit that button right there in the upper right corner for all of mine WWE reviews. And if you enjoyed this video so much, you want to support the channel, all you gotta do is hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button. Do all those great things because it lets me know that you want more videos like this. And hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content. Yeah, I got some more gameplay videos coming up for you guys. Yeah, so just stay tuned, you know. Hey, you only live once.